Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today I'm going to explain the horror movie called Shortcut. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The movie opened with a boy in a yellow jacket running away from something through the woods and seeming to be hurt. He then kneeled down as he was gasping for air and cried. In the present, 5 teenagers, Nolan, Bess, Reggie, Queenie, and Karl, were on a field trip with their driver Joseph. In the bus, we see different teenage occurrences and interactions. Karl making fun of Queenie as she shared knowledge on the lunar eclipse. Nolan and Bess sharing looks, followed by a grin, seeming that they both like each other, and Reggie, who acts all rebellious and snobbish, just sitting at the back and hoping the trip would be over soon. To kill their boredom, they were throwing riddles at each other, and Queenie answered them. But the only time she didn't know the answer was when Joseph gave the teenagers a 7-letter riddle that featured a much-needed virtue. In the middle of their drive, their path was blocked by a knockdown tree, so Karl suggested that they go back. But Joseph decided to take a different route. When Joseph got out of the bus later on to remove a dead deer from the road, a gun cluck was heard. When he re-entered the bus, Pedro Mingala, an escaped prisoner, held him at gunpoint. Karl recognized him when he saw the news article about him one day, and also that this was the same guy his father, a detective, had a hard time capturing. Pedro then took control of the bus and threatened anyone who wouldn't do as he commanded. Later that evening, he made them throw their phones out the window of the bus to prevent them from dialing for assistance. Reggie refused to give him the phone, but when his fellow classmates and Joseph begged that he comply with Pedro's wish, he gave him his phone. Later on in the evening, as Joseph was driving down a tunnel, the bus mysteriously breaks down, making Pedro pissed. Joseph didn't know how to fix the vehicle, making Pedro very irritable. Pedro then held Queenie hostage to make Joseph get off the bus and look for the damage. All of a sudden, the tunnel's lights went out, leaving everything in complete darkness. The only source of light they have is from the bus headlights, which cast light on a peculiar shape in the road. Pedro then made Joseph investigate what it was and make it go away. As Joseph was going near the mysterious creature, his fear heightened. Everyone was filled with horror when the creature suddenly rose and killed Joseph by biting his neck. Pedro panicked as to how they could leave the area and realized that Joseph still had the keys, so he forced Karl to retrieve the keys from Joseph's body. But Nolan insisted he go, but Bess abruptly gets off the bus to go outside and get the keys. Bess was able to go near Joseph and claim the keys, but he ran back quickly when the creature emerged from behind the wall. Pedro then forced Reggie to try and start the car, but there was no hope. Reggie then managed to get the gun from Pedro after he attacked him. Suddenly, the creature got near the bus and started haunting them. Pedro then went outside to try to kill the beast, only for it to ambush him and rip off his head. The monster, which resembles a giant bug and has long hair and teeth, rips out the wiring of the bus. Then the creature forced the door open and managed to get inside. The teens then forced the door to open, and they managed to run away from the bus and enter a stairwell where they made their escape. The teens wandered around the dark tunnels, trying to find a way out, but everywhere they went, it was always a dead end. A realization and discovery hit them that the creatures were sensitive to light, and they had to find a way to turn the lights back on for the creatures to be defeated. They came across a room where they sought refuge and also discovered a blueprint of the underground tunnels. They spotted where the control room was, so Nolan and Bess decided that they would go and find the generator, while the other 3 stayed together in the room. While the 2 were busy looking for the generator, the other 3 were trying so hard to distract themselves from boredom and hunger. Queenie then asked Reggie to escort her to pee. Meanwhile, Nolan came across some evidence that someone else knew about the creature and had tried to kill it. Queenie asked Reggie to turn around as she relieved herself, but when Reggie turned back around, Queenie was nowhere to be found. Reggie quickly returns to Karl to inform him that the creature has captured Queenie and has asked for his help to rescue her. When they went in search of Queenie, they discovered the animal biting into her neck. Before the wound becomes fatal, they rescue her by fending it off with torches. Reggie is then captured by the creature, who nearly kills him before Nolan and Bess are able to turn on the lights and scare the creature away. Bess and Nolan then took a closer look at the drawings, pictures, and journals posted on the walls of the room, and concluded that someone had been driven to kill whatever the thing was that was chasing them. Upon reuniting with Reggie, Karl, and Queenie, Nolan and Bess were shocked to see Queenie injured, and Reggie felt guilty about it. They presented all the proof they had uncovered. Turns out it belonged to a man by the name of Giulio Sarpi, who lost his sister to the creature way back in 1971. After that, Giulio spent the next 40 years researching and coming up with theories and possible solutions to defeat and kill the monster lingering in the tunnels. His body's found in a corner by the teenagers at the time. They decide that it should be put to death by themselves. They come up with a strategy and work out how to entice the creature to approach them. Once they locate the exit to the outside, where it is now daytime, Bess and Queenie make the creature chase them. When the boys rush up to it with torches, the creature stops and becomes trapped. The creature is ignited by fire and has nowhere to flee. Before finally collapsing, seemingly dead, it writhes and screams in pain. The teenagers travel together into town to seek assistance. Later, they are seen hanging out together closer than ever. The movie ended with a detective getting attacked by the monster when his flashlight went off.